What's up, Chasing Tails fans? It's episode 61. Going to do a little Hydroplane Racing League championship recap. It's been a thrilling season for all classes. Some of them came down to the last heat. We have two on that came down to the last heat. There was 1 point separating them and their uncle. Right before the final, it was pretty exciting to see. And after all the things they've went through this season, it's pretty cool to see a first-time winner in the Jersey Skiff. We'll have them coming on here shortly. Paul Barber pulls it out. I think he was nervous. He was going to be on the night. He has passed inspection, so that's really cool to hear. But he said he's been up for 3 days straight, so he's not going to come on.
Yeah.
So we'll let him sleep, get some Tim Hortons throughout the week, and he'll be on next week with us. John Shaw will be on the night as well, hopefully. And then obviously we have Kyle here. And we talked to Ken last year, so if you're a repeat winner, you don't get to come back on. We've already heard your story. It's got to be about the same thing. So before we get our guests on, first guest of the night, what's you guys' first fast thoughts on the season? What stuck out to you the most?
You saying our season or just HRL in general?
HRL championship season.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody going into the year talked a little bit about GP, and I think there was a lot of concern over the show with, the premier class being missing, and I think all the other classes stepped up big, and it's not surprising to me. I was pretty active in the comments telling people to just wait and see. I know GPs are an attraction, and the speed, the size, the noise, but the racing in the other classes is so damn good, particularly 350, 2500. And I think overall the season showed that. And I think anybody that was not entertained watching the classes that did run, and when we did have GPs, I don't know that we're going to entertain them at the end of the day.
No doubt there. Some of that, I mean, Roshan took a shot at the GPs in Brockville and said the 350s are a show. And I mean, I'm sitting back watching it like, yeah, I can't argue with it. I mean, they put on a show, and some of the things he's done this season, especially in finals where he started outside and come back to finish second, it's like, you don't always have to watch the leader. There's some things going on behind him that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think 350 especially saw that this year. Guys, fall behind at the start through the first turn or whatever. I mean, when you send 6-7 of those guys into turn one all at the same time, like very rarely do all of them come out of it together. When they do, it's pretty impressive and cool to watch. But, I mean, Brockville was a great example. I think Roshan was back in like fifth or something after the first turn and just dug through the field. And I think 350 and 2500, you've seen a fair amount of that. Not as much in 2500. Kind of had two boats dominating.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not always a battle for first. There's battles for second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way down.
For sure. What about you, Austin? What stood out to you?
I don't know. The one, especially not being at so many races this year, one thing I found myself just always watching was the novices on the stream, and they had some crazy good battles this year, man.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They're not really scared of too much. It's real funny watching some of them. I know this weekend I was watching the one guy out front. He looked so just calm, chill. He's sitting straight up, just looking around.
You talking about Madera?
I think so. Yeah.
You can definitely tell the ones that are more experienced.
Yeah, and then the three guys behind him are all down, just hauling balls, and he's just so calm and chill. But no, they had some really good battles, and I don't know, I really enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, it has been cool. And I mean, I know I woke up Sunday morning and looked at the points, and they were tied for first and second, and then third was 3 points back. I think it separated a little bit after that final, but they have one more race in Crystal Lake, New York, I think it is. So maybe after that, we'll get the champion on from them. And if they speak French and don't speak English, we'll just get a French host for that night. We'll make it happen for them kids.
Yeah, it was really cool. I don't think a lot of people in the pits knew. I think everybody assumed, this is the last race of the season. The novices having that other race, I don't think a ton of people knew. Like when they got to that final, a lot of people were aware of a tie at first, and third only being a couple points back, and everybody made their way down to that wall to watch that heat. So that was really cool
for sure. So I think it's about that time we go ahead and bring our guests on. Although I think we might have just not went live anymore on Facebook. We dropped out. Well, folks, what's a Chasing Tails episode without a little drama and live stream cutting out and all that good stuff? It
was Black Flag. That's all it was.
Yeah. We were on Black Flag. We really needed Bobby for that moment in time to just go live with his webcam and just be sitting there. But hey, we're back, and we have our first guest for the night. sitting there waiting patiently, probably wondering what is going on, why are we taking so long, but we're a little late to the start, obviously. If you watched the last 10 minutes on the previous live stream, congratulations, but we'll talk more about that later. Let's go ahead and bring on Sam Ewancio and Jerry Ewancio.
How we doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Great. Congratulations. What an accomplishment. And to do it as a father and daughter duo, that's incredible. I don't know how many times, if that's been done in a skiff. Do you guys know?
I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
If it's been done, it had to be in like your family. So if you guys don't know it, you guys are the first.
Yeah, exactly.
I would assume that we are the first. Jimmy is obviously the one that would know in our family. We've had a lot of combinations of family, but I don't think it's ever been father-daughter, because it would have been Jimmy and Courtney or Jimmy and Abigail.
Yeah. So I definitely think you guys are the first. So walk us through this. Obviously, the Skiff class is more of an APBA class, but over the past couple years, you've been coming up to HRL and competing with them. First off, what do you think about HRL as a whole, their organization, and why do you keep coming back up there?
Sam?
Yeah, I mean, the organization is great. It's so organized, it's all together, what to expect, which I love. I'm very type A. So I love the way that everything is organized. I love being able to refresh the app and see exactly what lane I'm in. This season, especially, exactly where the points were, the heat, because I think that really, really being able to pull up and see that we are exactly, going into the weekend 4 points apart, and we're 11 points apart, then we're 3 points, and we're 1 point apart going into the final. Being able to see that without having to sit down with a pen and paper would be great.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely nice to track. I mean, we talk about it on here that some races, especially not to make fun of the West Coast, but you don't know who finished where until the high points come out 3 months later. So it's nice to be able to see it almost simultaneously as it happens. So let's talk about that. Going into that final, 1 point behind. I missed, what lane did you start in? Was it 1 or 2 or
3, right? Or 2?
We were supposed to be in 2. We were supposed to be on our own. And unfortunately, they had, I believe their rudder bracket broke, so they couldn't go out in the final. We had the option. You can either stay in 2 or move into 1. And I think for both of us, it was easy.
Yeah.
Did the 1 for sure.
Yeah, Jimmy was going to put you there no matter what. So you might as well pick it.
Actually, Jimmy's radio guy, Richard Shaw, called us on the phone, on the intercom, and said, Jimmy wants to know if you want to go into lane 1, because if not, he will. And we were like, sure, no problem. We're for sure going to change. Go ahead, Jimmy. I would just like a video of that first turn in the first lap, because I swear to God, we were probably less than a foot apart, because Jimmy and Peg left us like 1.0001 lanes to fit in, which he says is a lane, but boy, it was tight.
Yeah. And with all the marbles on the line, I'm sure it was a little nerve-wracking. Leading up to that final, obviously being 1 point, the championship, the final win is at stake. Who had more of the nerves, you, Jerry, or Sam?
I think I did, actually. I mean, Sam isn't really big on pep talks and stuff, so you really can't sit there and do like the Rocky speech, go out there and get them. You really can't do that to her. So I just said, look, Sam, it's really simple. You just need 4 absolutely perfect laps. You need 8 turns, no mistakes, no pulls, no wings, no getting the boat stuck. You need to slide it just like you do all the time, and don't choke for any reason. And she did it. They were just totally clean turns. It was really great.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
You needed them in that course. Go ahead, Kyle. You can step in now.
I know I was holding my breath going down the front when you guys are going down the front stretch in that first turn, because I've seen you all race before, and I know everything that was on the line. There wasn't going to be any given way there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're all family, and we all, snack talk in the pits, and when we have dinner at nights and everything, and we're all family, and obviously we love each other. But when we're out on the race course, family is out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So that is another competitor out there, our favorite competitor, obviously.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to give us anything, and we weren't going to give him anything. All four of us knew exactly what was the line going.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to give an inch. Going into that turn, that very first turn, knew darn well he was going to give me a lane and an inch and nothing else. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, it
If you're going to
definitely.
be there, you better know how to be there. You better drive it. So, choice.
As you were talking, I pulled up their live stream, so we'll play that for the fans of Chasing Tails so they can kind of see this. They didn't go to the drone shot, but you can tell when they switch this camera how tight he held you at
Yeah,
the
there ain't a
entrance
lot of
pin.
room there.
Yeah.
And then luckily you shot past before buoy number 2, and it looks like you gave him a little hip check there.
Well, actually, at dinner tonight, Peg and I were talking, and I said, I am totally shocked we didn't actually bump side to side in that turn. We were that close. And we
We
didn't.
have bumped before.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Exactly.
We
Well, I
need
guess.
Sort
some
of like a
bigger
love tap.
rub rails.
Yeah, exactly. Literal. I know that some of the skiffs used to have rubber ones. I think we might need to go back to that because things are
I
getting
think
tight.
so.
It'll bounce off.
For this year, we just might.
Yeah. So with that being said, we have I was thinking of that was your first weekend back since Valleyfield. Obviously the accident, everyone was okay. But how hard was that for you to get back into the boat after going
Yeah.
through what you went through up there?
I'm not gonna say that it was easy. I was definitely in my head. I've been in my head since it happened, even though everybody said, don't be in your head, it's an accident. It wasn't. I really don't think that there's anything else Dallas could have done. I'm not sure that there's anything else we could have done. But that doesn't fit from being on a loop in your head. I was definitely nervous going back into it. Knew that it was going to be a totally different situation once I was out there. Just glad that I have the kind of adrenaline that once they say 3, 2, 1, go, that all kind of goes away. Um, so thankfully, once they said go, that was all out the window. I wasn't in my head anymore, which is exactly what I needed. But still definitely taken from that. I think we all were. That was a major reality, especially probably family.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. So that is one thing about racing. It seems like I've been through plenty of accidents that once you get back in, you recall it all the way to the race site in the morning. But once you're back on that water, it's like you're back at home and your kind of mind is at ease. Like, all right, it was a freak thing. It's probably not going to happen again. Doesn't happen often in these things. So glad that you could put it out of your mind and obviously go secure the championship.
Do you think that having that tight championship battle, I want to say something to like make it easier to forget about it, but something so, immediate and so important helped you get back in the boat and kind of refocus, having something specific to focus on, I think is helpful in those situations.
Yeah, there was definitely, for me, I don't know about that, obviously. For me, there was an end goal. The goal is win the championship. And it's win the championship after something like that, proving to yourself that you can get back in the boat, that you can do it, that you can overcome it. It would be the highest after the lowest boat, and it for sure has been. And for me, having, like you said, that goal to look toward, definitely helped.
But it was amazing. Immediately after the accident, after Corey and Dallas and Sam were okay, it was amazing. Jimmy got on the phone right away and called up Kenny Germanshausen, who built the in the red for Dennis Macy, explained to him how tight this points race was and said, look, you have to have this boat done in 3 weeks. We don't want Sam to miss an HRL event. We did miss Cambridge APBA, but we, thank God, Kenny got it back to us, I believe, on Monday evening, and it was ready to go. It wasn't perfect, but it was ready to go. And thank God that Jimmy got on the phone so quick. Kenny had the boat Monday afternoon, so less than 18 hours after the accident, he had started working on it.
Nice. Come on
Yeah,
now,
our
though.
biggest
I don't
competitors are
think you
fierce.
started
Yeah.
until the week before. Kenny's a more under the gun kind of guy.
Yeah,
He might have
I
said
was
he
being
started.
generous, but yeah, I kind of agree.
We don't
Not
tell
my
too many
business.
lies on
That's
here.
not my business. The boat got done. That's all I care.
Exactly. It
Yeah,
was ready.
yeah.
That's awesome. So, what are your goals from here on out? Are you guys still in the APBA hunt for the points, or have things not shaken out there?
I
Never
think we're
say never.
probably out of it as far as APBA goes. Never say never, obviously. I think we're probably out of it. We're pretty far back, especially missing Cambridge. Um, but the priorities, my priority is that we're okay, our family's okay after this crazy accident. If all it takes is not having a shot at APBA points and missing one race, it's a win in my book.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think the only way we can catch Jimmy and Peg is if something happens to their boat, and we're not going to wish that. I think we're in solid second place. I think Dallas is actually in third right now, and Dave Savage is in fourth, and I think those are pretty insurmountable numbers for any of us to leapfrog without something catastrophic.
Okay. Gotcha. That's cool.
That could be some more history there. A podium, a family podium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That'd be really cool.
that
yeah.
is cool.
But like Jim Carrey said in Dumb and Dumber, there's always a chance.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yo,
It's one
Ronnie's
in a
on here.
million.
Ronnie's you guys got me in trouble. Ronnie's on here throwing shade. He just told everybody that it took me a year to fix his skiff. His builder's a little slower. I fixed it in like 3 days once I started on it. But there was one more thing I wanted to bring up. Obviously, watching you throughout this year, I believe your driving has gotten so much better. Would you attribute that to more seat time, the different race courses you've been on? Because obviously, we know the HRL courses are a little tougher than some of the stuff we run on APBA. But what would you attribute it to?
Yeah, seat time definitely has a lot to do with it. I will say that after every heat, I go back and watch the live stream and figure out, okay, I did this here and I should have done this. Got a 360 camera in the boat, which is terrible at sharing footage with the world, but I watch every single heat on it. Um, Honest to God, mostly it's just sitting down and listening to other people. And mostly it's Jimmy. Everything that I know about driving is learned from Jimmy. And it's sitting down at the end of the race and being like, once the boat is down through the turn, what it wants to do is roll up onto the side. So what am I doing wrong here? How do I get it to, and just absorbing his knowledge because he's so knowledgeable about all of this has been invaluable. We couldn't do it without him. We couldn't do it without the entire family. We've got the best crew in the world, in my opinion. Um, really just listening to other people and being open to other people's advice so much more speak to them than you has been made the most.
Yeah,
Nice.
and everybody on our team is willing to share, even with other competitors, as you guys know. I mean, if
Yeah.
Jimmy has a part and you need it, even if it means, giving you an advantage, Jimmy's going to give you a part or help you out. And if you ask him a question, he'll give you a straight answer. Unlike you know how it gets sometimes with some of your arch rivals. I'm sure you guys have some where you won't even give them an inch, right? But Jimmy and Peg shares everything with us. Tell us, how to make it smoother, how to make it better, how to handle certain situations where we screwed up in. So it's really a good camaraderie, I guess you would say, that goes a little bit beyond even the family aspect.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's what keeps you coming back. It's not as much the racing; it's that kind of stuff. That after the races, things we've talked about that a lot on here. That we're all one big family in this sport. Not other sports have that, and it's really cool that your whole family does it. I mean, we talk about it obviously with our families. How many family vacations could we go on, or would we go on if we didn't have boat racing? Probably not many. We'd probably
Yeah.
not see each other for a couple years. So
Well,
it's good to have
I
that.
was talking to Austin and Kyle's mom this weekend. I said she needs to get Mother of the Year. I mean, I don't know how many miles she puts on, but she's there for every race, and you guys are doing absolutely incredible in both
Thank you.
both championship series. It's incredible. You guys are great.
Yeah, she's
And Brandon,
actually.
you got to drive in unlimited.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I
we
bet.
we have tried to tell mom to take a weekend off, let us take the boat to the races, and that it doesn't usually go
Okay.
very well.
No, you guys can,
We're hoping
I could
one of these
imagine.
years we need to get dad to just book a vacation that you can't pass up and say you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
she's
think
actually
she
on her way
enjoys
back
it as
from
much as you
Chicago
guys
right now.
do.
got the engine already.
Oh my
Flip
gosh,
back.
that was fast.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
dropped it off at
Thankfully
like
for Wolf
noon.
Engines, take care of
Yeah.
us and
Who's the
is
man?
back in there. We got a couple weeks of vacation now, right, guys? You don't
Yeah.
race this weekend. Boat's all repaired from Kyle screwing it up. We're good to
Sit
go.
back.
Still ain't
Well,
You
figured out
guys-
what
Austin,
I
you're
hit.
going to be at at Mays Landing, right?
I don't think we're gonna do Mays Landing. We originally it was part of our plan. Fortunately for us, unfortunately for him, it looks like Davenport, which was at the moment was our main focus in High Points. He wasn't able to get a full weekend in out in Pateros, which gave us a little bit of a gap. And but to your point, with how much mileage mom's put on this year, we're trying to. When we went into this year, it was supposed to be we're going to cut back our APBA schedule, kind of have HRL and APBA be a little bit more even. Probably about 12 races, and we're now going to hit 16 or 17 even without Mays Landing. So
Wow.
we went from this is going to be our shortest schedule season to now it's our longest schedule season.
Some
Wow.
people are addicted.
Yeah.
It's funny. We even got
The
dad
kettle.
on it now. He's like, you guys got to go. And we're like, no, we don't. I got this whole spreadsheet put together. The APBA way, you got to go put your own spreadsheet together to figure out where the points are.
I've been trying to get
They
a
are
different
doing
driver in
better
there for
with
Mays
headquarters, I
Landing.
will say.
Yes, they
I've
are.
been trying to get a better driver in for Mays Landing. I told Carson we got to
I know
give
how
it
to
a
race
dunk
a
test.
boat.
Yeah, there you go. You could too. I want Carson to get in it because she never had a good ride in a 2.5. I finally figured one out. This one handles
Yeah.
good. She'd like it.
Nice.
She can go run her old prop too.
Yeah, she'd probably keep her foot down,
Did
unlike
she
you
win
guys.
Valley Field in a 2.5?
T-boat. Almost won in 2.5, but her radio guy screwed up and let somebody slide inside of her. I'll never live that one down.
Oh,
Dear.
So when
Kyle.
are you getting back into GP, Brandon?
Next year. Yeah, with the escape hatch coming off, it was too much of a job to kind of put it back together. You got to flip the boat and build one on the boat, basically. So we just decided to take the winter, start working on the boat now for next year. So
Yeah, I
we'll
heard
be back.
that was quite the rush of water, let's say.
It was a lot of pressure. Like I said, I felt the water hit you with a skiff in front of you. That was nothing compared to that.
I
It was
bet.
something. It was instant pain, and I wasn't sure where the pain was. But
I think
luckily, I'm
we
all right.
know where the pain emanated from.
Yeah. 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 Well, luckily, it's all healed now. We're good to go. Kyle, Austin, you got anything else to ask before we let him go?
No, no questions. I just want to say congratulations. It was really fun to watch all year. We've been in a lot of races with you guys the last couple of years. We've gotten to see you and Max improve immensely as drivers. It's been cool because it's kind of been on the same timeline as Austin and I. And culminating in a championship, father-daughter championship at that, which is, that's as good of a story as you can find. And testament to your guys' team. Even though your team's often your biggest competition, that's what makes it so fun to watch. And I think that's what brought a lot of people down to the shore to watch that final. Is I think your guys' family's got a lot of respect in the sport, and people like seeing you succeed. So when they got to pick or choose between one or the other, I think it was a pretty entertaining spectacle for everybody.
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, this is surreal. I don't know how else to say it. In my wildest dreams, I wouldn't let myself imagine that we would win the championship. So this was
Yeah, Peg and I are so proud of how well she's done. It's crazy. I drove a skiff for Jimmy for 3 years, and then I drove for Courtney year before last when she was pregnant with Scooter. I'm sure Courtney is going to love me
Scooter.
calling Nate Scooter, but he loves it. And I got to tell you, my driving ability can't even compare to Sam's. I mean, it's just night and day different in how she handles the boat. So her mom and I are both very, very, very proud of her.
Sure. I think a lot of people are proud of how she's handled it this year and going to continue. So I guess we'll be seeing you guys race in Mays Landing. Obviously, you go to the tightest, smallest course and have fun with the tidy ball.
Yeah.
and
Thanks.
then and then like
Hey,
back on Hampton.
we need the
You
luck
guys got
there.
more to go.
Yeah.
Jimmy's already talking smack. He said they better watch out in Mays
Yeah,
Landing.
lots of races.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go back to these puppets and see what he's got to say.
Yeah.
We love you, Jimmy. And we
Yeah,
couldn't
he's
do
been in
without you,
there.
no matter
He
what
said,
you're saying in the comments.
yeah, he said he couldn't see the whole first turn. Just kind of drove where he thought he was supposed to go.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
well, we've been there in Jimmy's spray many, many times where Peg and
Yeah.
Jimmy come back dry and we come drenched with 80 gallons of water in the boat.
It's always great waving to each other after the heat, and you just get to see just how wet you got someone,
yeah.
It's the
how
best.
mad they're gonna be.
At the end of the finals, Jimmy and Peg gave us a special wave and then a wag to shoot us with an extra dose of water in the
Nice.
straightaway of the back straightaway.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Actually, that just reminded me. Sorry to keep you guys for too long, but I saw you did something cool. I think it was Sunday morning, taking one of the novice drivers for a ride. And then I believe you guys did it after your final with some other people. Tell us about that. How much fun was that to be able to take a novice driver out there for the first time?
That was so special to me. I started in the J stocks when I was 9. I raced until I aged out, and then obviously I went race the T boat for years. When it came time to decide to use the stick for me, no offense, y'all, the choice was easy. So hearing that Erica, one of the novice drivers who's aging out, is more interested in stiffs than 2.5, I worked with Bob Abbott and Emily to make sure that we could get her out. And I think I was more excited about it than she was, to be honest with you. But the language barrier was tough because I only speak English, she only speaks French. But the smile is universal. She came back in all smiles. She was so excited. It seems like she really loved it. Her family seemed into it, which I know was a big deal because most of the families don't like it. That was really exciting. And then we got the chance again on Sunday to take some people out who have interest in maybe buying a skiff, getting into the class. There might have been an offer made on the JS45, which for the record is not for sale. For my dead body, not for sale.
I got one for sale.
They
Tell
all
them they can
seem to
buy
really
mine.
like it.
Yeah.
You got one for sale.
Well, by the end of the weekend, Jimmy and I had 3 separate people come up and say, "How much does it cost to get into a skiff race ready, and who's got boats for sale?" So you
Awesome.
may have three brand new skiff families join in for the 26th season.
That's
That'd be
awesome.
awesome.
And you need that,
Yeah.
especially up there. I think that's a class that can definitely take off up there, but it needs more than obviously you guys' family supporting all those races. So it'd be cool to get 3 or 4 more up there. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a tough one too, because like you said, Sam, you started in J-Stack when you were 9, aged out, and then there's is it 18 for the skiffs?
Is 16 to drive, 14 to ride.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a little
So
used
sooner.
to-
Erica
used to be,
next
like,
year will
16.
be old enough to drive if we can get her in a.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's just one of
Nice.
those classes. There's not really a stepping stone to it. There's you kind of just get into it. Hydros, you can build up in J stock, T boat, 2.5, kind of work your way up. And skiffs, you kind of just get thrown to the fire.
Yeah, even
There
for
is no
better
other
or
way
worse.
in a skiff.
Nope.
That's how it should be, though.
Try
Yeah.
by
It's the only
fire.
way you're gonna learn. You just got to do it. Hydros are the same way. You can do the build up in J stock, but once you get in a hydro and put your foot to the floor, it's a little different.
Very. I heard a rumor though that you guys are bringing skiffs to Hydro Sim, so I'm anxiously waiting for that.
That's gonna be a
Totally.
lot of fun.
I hope they go a lot better than them K-boats did for a while. Them K-boats.
Well,
man,
K-boats
every
were
time I
skiffs
step
for a
on it,
while.
I flipped.
Yeah, they were skiffs for a while.
That'll be fun though. That'll be
Watching
fun.
all the
Especially-
hydro guys.
Could you imagine doing that with VR? I get sick enough doing VR with the hydroplane.
Gonna need
because
a
I blow
bucket.
it over a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna need a bucket. Watching all the hydro guys try to figure out how to work that plate when the K-boats first came out was so damn funny. It's gonna be the same way with the skiffs.
Yep, everything's opposite. But yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys coming on. Obviously it's Tuesday after the championship, so thanks for coming on early and congratulations on your great year, and hope you guys have continued success the rest of the year in APBA.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome job, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Congrats.
See you guys soon.
Yep.
See ya.
See you soon.
See ya.
Hey, one of y'all could talk for now. Go ahead, Austin. What do you got to say?
No,
Where's Bobby?
congrats
Wow,
to
I
those
probably
guys.
fell asleep.
The couple years I had in the Skiff class, I was watching them, mainly Max driving at that point, but they kept getting faster and faster, figuring out that boat. I know we're dealing with some issues with it at first, wanting to wing out quite a bit, but got that under control, and they're a force to be reckoned with now. They're fast.
Definitely. So I guess we can roll right into our next guest. We have John Shaw in the waiting room.
Yeah, let's do it.
Talk to him about should we talk to him about his luck? His luck in those finals?
Oh.
All right, let's bring John in. Hey,
What's
John,
up,
what's
man?
happening?
Doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Not too bad.
Congratulations on another HRL championship. Well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys stepped into the year changing motors and weren't really sure what to expect coming out of the gate, but you came out strong. Talk to us a little bit about that transition, how much Al had to spend on the setups and things like that differently.
I mean, we started out trying just to copy the setup we had last year with the Ford that was about picture perfect, in my opinion. And we quickly learned that didn't work. I mean, in Edgewood, the boat just wanted to go to the moon. Caesars Creek, the boat wanted to blow over every time it hit the rev limiter. So we had quite a bit of work to do between Edgewood and Cambridge just to settle the boat down that I could drive it. And then all season long, we just kept playing with setup, playing with gear, moving weight around, making some new pieces, trying some new stuff, just trying to get the boat to handle like it did last year.
There you go. We'll talk about that. Obviously, you've driven for some pretty good people over the year. You've driven for yourself. You've done a lot of changes to your T-boat over the years. But how is it driving for someone like Al with that engineer mind and that never stop improving mindset?
It's pretty amazing because I'll throw an idea out to Al, and about the next day or the day after that, he calls me with a whole analysis of whatever the idea was of either why he thinks that we should do it or why he thinks we shouldn't. So it's pretty, I mean, Al's like a walking calculator. It's absolutely incredible what he can pull off the top of his head, and just it's amazing with all the changes we make. He can pretty much predict them.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. So I guess for him, it wasn't that big of a jump going from just being able to change propeller to now being able to change gears. Did he have that figured out, or did it take a little bit of a step to kind of figure out how those gear changes go?
I think before we even had the Honda, we had a whole entire spreadsheet of what propellers were, what the gear options were, what the slippage was with the Ford, what we thought the slippage would be with the Honda, what speed we would reach with certain RPM. So we had a pretty good starting point just based off of all of our years of Ford data.
Nice. Yeah, see, boys, we ain't scratching the surface. I just tell you got to keep all I tell you is keep your foot in it. That's all I tell you.
That is the most important thing. The Honda doesn't recover.
Yeah. Kyle's learning that going up for starts.
That was what happened the first heat in the final, or the first rendition of the final. Had a little different setup than Eddie, and tried to drag race off the exit pin, and I mean, he just flat out beat me to turn one.
Yeah. So I guess you brought it up. So we got to talk about that horseshoe there twice this year. He had you beat in a final in the red flag. I mean, they always say you better be lucky than good. So obviously it worked out. Did you guys change anything, or it was just you changed the way you did your start?
Completely just changed how we went and approached the start and hit the starting line moving. Like I said, we had a little more top end than Eddie and beat him to the first turn. And he drove it through there pretty hard, but we were just able to get him at the exit pin and pull away down the backstretch.
That's cool. Now, how would you say the Honda has kind of upped the competition level? Obviously, you guys were the class of the field last year. You're pretty much still the class of the field this year. Do you feel like you have more competition this year than last year?
I think last year the competition was really stout with, Sam in the 113, Grant in the 97, Eddie in the 500, and us. The four of us were pretty evenly matched. One person might be a little faster here, a little faster there, but all in all, we were just all super close together. This year, it seems like Eddie and I have kind of upped the game a little bit. I think something I'm not sure the Honda is the same as it was last year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Looking at the speeds that we ran, and we were, pretty much deck to deck with Eddie a lot of the season last year, and then the speeds we're running this year, something definitely changed over the winter.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. It put mud on old Chasing Tail's face after the first round you guys went. We're like, God damn it, we said it was similar.
Yeah, when we were out at Caesars Creek, Eddie was like, it's almost the same as the Ford when he went back to back last year between I guess it was Caesars Creek, Bournemouth, Caesars
Creek with
Creek,
the 97.
and he's like they're really really similar. And after we got out, the first time with the Honda, I was like, dude, this thing's a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, we went faster than we had ever gone before at Caesars Creek, the third run out.
Wow.
So I knew at that point we made the right decision over the winter. I was really, really hesitant to do it. I tried talking him into it like the end of September, beginning of October last year, and he was like, nope, nope, nope. And then I think we had to place the order by like December 1st in order to be guaranteed to have one ready for the season. And I think he called me on Thanksgiving night and was like, going Honda. So it was,
Last minute.
yeah, it was pretty close to the wire to be guaranteed to have it ready for the season.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I do believe you guys have that theory of pretty don't make it go fast, because all Al cares about is making that thing go fast. The thing looks like it's been through a couple wars.
Yeah, the bad thing is it just Al just spent a lot of time this past winter repainting it, and then I proceeded to break it. So we had to cut the deck open. We've cut the side out of it. This winter it's going back under the knife. We're making some more changes to it. So I'm sure Al will do his favorite thing, which is body work.
Yeah. It's everybody's favorite. It's definitely Austin's favorite, especially with his flat board.
Speaking of wars, you went to war with that right sponson this year, man.
Yeah, I'm super thankful for, all of our friends and family in the pits. Jimmy Stewart, he might as well put West Marine down the side of his big white trailer, because I think I was there every weekend getting glass and carbon, resin. Brian Richards in Valleyfield went and, rated his crash box and put the sponson back together twice. I don't know if it's just a couple extra mile an hour of the Honda, but the right sponson's taking a beating.
Yeah, definitely. But it never came apart, and that's the positive thing, because if it did, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that's getting cut apart this winter, and I think we have 5 patches in the secondary on the right sponson, so I think that's going to become one piece of Kusa.
If you need that area cut apart, just let Kyle drive it. He just break it, and then you cut it apart in between races.
Well, I think Kyle had some help. I'm not sure by who, but I think Kyle had some help.
We're still trying to figure out.
I tried really hard to figure. I went around to every boat in that final, and nobody has a scratch on the left side of their boat. I can't figure out who I hit. I thought it was Remy. Because by the time the water cleared, it was right before the water cleared, I felt it, and I was like, me and Garrett hit the first year, and I was like, that wasn't water. Cleared, I look out the side, and Remy's right there, and I'm like, we must have hit. And I went up to him after the heat. He's like, what? Looking at his boat, there's not even a scratch, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
Must have been that Loch Ness monster from Cambridge.
Yeah, right
up there.
Yeah, it's been
it migrated.
Yeah. It's taking some time. So, John, do you have a heat this year in HRL or a final that really stands out? Ones that you were like, that was really cool?
I think the Friday final in Valleyfield was shaping up to be just absolutely amazing. I mean, there's so many heats. I mean, any heat that Eddie and I were out there, we were either going to be in lane 1 or lane 2, and I knew he was going to run super hard, and he was going to, make me earn it, or I was going to make him earn it. And I mean, I'm expecting the same thing next season.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be good. I don't know what they're planning on doing this winter, but I feel like there's going to be a little bit of swapping and some class changes. I think there might be a lot of Hondas in one class, but we'll see. It's just speculation. Chasing tails rumors.
Yeah, I've already heard about some boat ownership / driver movement. I think F's going to have a few more boats running out. I don't know that right out of the gate, at least there'll be any major direct challenges to you guys, but I think as the season goes, I think there's going to be a few boats that are kind of right there on your guys' heels, and hopefully as the season goes on, kind of develops a 4, 5, 6 boat kind of pool there up front. Should be a lot of fun. It'll be nice to see Sam Tremblay get in a boat that's not 400 pounds, 200 pounds, whatever it is, overweight, because that dude can drive, man.
But yeah, it's always fun when Sam's out there.
Yeah, he's got all gonads. I heard the story. I don't know if we told it on here, and that's where I heard it. That the new tuner Eric was like, must be something wrong with your throttle position. It never moves. He's like, I don't like. I just put her down, and that's it.
And that's what I try and do, but there's sometimes in that nasty water, it is just, you have to lift. He might
Yeah,
not have
no
to with the
doubt.
battle tank, but
No.
with the flying pumpkin, that thing wants to go to the moon.
Yeah.
See, we're not
I was a
totally
little
full of it.
disappointed that Sam's boat was not there this weekend, because the shot of that boat coming down the front stretch at that course, it's unbeatable. It is one of the coolest shots in boat racing.
They
I
tried
really
to
was
do it
looking
with the
forward.
350. They just needed
Yeah.
a skid fin on the other side.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
the thing was trying to run like a hydrofoil.
Yep.
I think that video, Sam, has like 3 million views the last time I looked.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was the
Wow.
highest performer. It was almost 2 million by the Gala last year, which was crazy.
That's so
But
wild.
it would be cool to see him get in a haul that's, like I said, just not super overweight, and maybe had some more to give into it. And I mean, we've seen him even in that overweight haul, run you and Eddie pretty hard, even win sometimes too. So I think you get him into something that's a little bit more driver friendly, with a little bit more upside. I think that battle between you three right out of the gate is going to be pretty intense next year.
Oh, I think so. I mean, I think people are figuring the Honda out. They kind of know which direction they need to go this winter. The nice thing is there's literally nothing you can do to the motor, except for in like your case and our case is put it back together.
Yep.
So
Yours back together yet, or did we win that race?
I actually think last I talked to Allie was bolting the intake on. So
Oh shit, we was close. Ours is on the way back from Chicago now, so Marty did it. Couple cases of beer kept him rolling.
nice, nice. That is one nice thing. Between Al and I, we do almost everything in house for the most part.
Yeah,
it just
is
saves a lot of
nice.
time.
Yeah, that is one thing. Obviously, we were trying to go for the sealed package, but I kind of think in these situations, it's okay. That ECU limits you a lot, and like you said, with it being all similar, you get to focus on other things. Like we've got to actually work on setup this year, not chasing the motor. And then you're like, wow, we have power now. Now all our propellers we tested, we have to test them again. So it's been nice to actually get some concrete data and know what we're doing.
I agree with that.
So you also had your brother-in-law fill in for you in Tonawanda and had a damn good weekend going up until 3 foot. It's too early for the start in the final. How was it watching the boat you've competed in and done very well in? Obviously, you were out in Seattle at the time, but how was that watching that?
It's honestly nerve-wracking because I know how fast the boat is. I know how good of a driver Chris is. Going into the final when he tagged the start and was leading going up the backstretch, I was like, there's a whole pile of us watching watching the live stream, right in the middle of pits in the middle. I think it was the middle like a Blue Angels performance, and we're all cheering and people are looking at us like we're nuts. And then all of a sudden they said he jumped the gun, and it was like, oh. But Chris did a fabulous job. He did exactly what he had to do. We went in there with like a 70 point-ish lead, and I think we came out of there after the final with a 40, I think it was 44 or 46 point lead, something in that range. He protected the points chase, which is, for us what was the important thing, and then he took a shot at it for the final, and unfortunately, like 0.2 of a second was not in his favor.
Yeah, that is rough, but he seems to take it in stride. Some people beat themselves up. He seems like he's like, yeah, well, I tried it. That's it.
Yeah,
It's boat racing.
He knew he had to, if he wanted to beat Eddie, he had to take a shot at it, and he was really close to being, making that top 10 start list.
Yeah, really close. We know Kyle is not going to be on that list.
Nah, bullshit.
This past
Heat 3
weekend.
This weekend. If Heat 3 doesn't make it, I quit. I'm not even going to try anymore. I'm done. I was so pumped after that one.
Yeah, our group chat just tears Kyle up constantly.
Bullshit.
30 plus each. You finally figured it out.
Bullshit.
But so you had a great HRL season. You've been having a good GP season as well. Now your guys are acquiring the GP 79. You're heading out to San Diego here in a couple weeks. What's the difference for our fans between the 2.5 and the GP, and how do you kind of prepare for the GP now that your 2.5 season has come into a close?
For the GP, I'm going to be driving the Bergeron. Jeff's still going to be in the 79. We're just trying to make it through San Diego without breaking a whole bunch of stuff, and then bring the boat home, turn it around, and the game plan's to bring the 79 to Hampton. So okay. I'll get some seat time there, try and become familiar with the boat before we put it away for the winter and start making it purple, black, and teal.
There you go. Another paint job. That's the hardest thing on a GP. I'd rather do anything else other than sand and paint those things.
Ed likes to paint, so we're good.
There you go. Does he like to sand?
That's what Rich and I are
That's
for.
We got grunt workers.
Yep, that's me and Austin's job when we do boats.
I think
Come
Austin
out for a
went.
weekend.
I think Austin went viral sanding.
Yes, he did.
That's our
He
like
did.
top view. Yep. It's not the
True
boat
that
racing.
video.
Some of the comments were just great. I felt so bad for Austin.
Can't
I was
believe
like,
how-
I hope
They
he's
were
got
bad.
thick
How
skin.
hostile people
They
were.
were rough.
People were mad.
Yeah, genuinely mad about it. Speaking of comments, though, I just saw Guillaume Charette commented, next season will be the most competitive in 2500 with all Hondas.
Hey,
Yeah,
that
I
might
mean-
be more than speculation because
Coming
he's
from
in the
him,
board.
that sounds like more than speculation.
I mean, I think that's the best decision they could make because there definitely is a difference between the 2300 and the Honda, even having the best, in my opinion, the best 2300. I mean, we're multiple mile an hour faster.
Yeah. And like you said, with everything changing, I mean, obviously we were arguing it the whole time, but something changed the winter and made it to where it's like, damn, you kind of felt bad when we got to Cambridge and it's like, holy shit, like this is a big difference. And obviously we saw it throughout the year. So I think that would be a good move for them. Put them all in one class. I know Ben LeMay will be like, heck no, we don't need 6 of them coming across the line. That's too loud.
They are pretty
No,
obnoxious.
Yeah. I have
still gonna
I
put a
talked to
whistle tip on ours.
a few people, and it's funny because like obviously with the way the class is split currently, it's meant to be experience and inexperience, quote unquote, with the introduction of the Honda, and quite frankly with the inevitable phase out of the Ford. However long that takes is to be seen, but it's an inevitable conclusion here at some point. It's kind of a opportunity to split them up for the time being, but eventually, whether it's 3 years, whether it's 5 years, whether it's 10, the Fords are going to be gone, and then you're going to be all Hondas, and you can kind of go back to that original split where it's the inexperienced, again, quote unquote, and then the experienced. I think it's it's kind of the nature of where the class is. We had a 50, 40, 60-year-old engine, whatever it is, and parts started to become less and less available, and I think obviously there's growing pains. Obviously, there's going to be people that feel like they're getting the short end of the stick, but I think it's best to avoid those people being the ones that are running an engine and then can't run anymore because they don't have a part. There's at least an option there for them. Like I said, I mean, like we said at the beginning of the year, it definitely got faster. Obviously, I don't think that was what we were expecting, and I don't know shit about tuning, so I don't know how fast you can make the thing go. I have no idea. We were always told this thing maxed out, and I think everybody knew that was bullshit. It would be the best still rise to the top. I mean, I think even if you and Eddie were driving your Fords, I still think y'all would have been 1 and 2. I think we saw that.
So.
I think obviously Eddie had a little bit of a rough season his first year in first year in 2500 when he was driving the Ford, but I think most of that was not due to any lack of speed. I think just things didn't go his way that first year, and that was a big learning curve. 2.5 to 2500. We've said it before. That it's almost like driving a different boat. The lanes get tighter. The starts get closer. The first turn gets more packed, and you got to be on your game. And I know that's what Austin and I got to prepare for next year. Fortunately, we get a chance to drive against you and Eddie and APBA a little bit and some of the other guys. And I think Lake Apacon is going to be a great chance for everybody to intermingle a little bit. And I'm excited to see some of the 2.5 guys from HRL show up there and get to run with the F guys, get a little taste of, what that up competition looks like. Because it's hard to prepare for something if you don't really know what it is you're preparing for. So I think that would be a really, really cool opportunity for some of those guys. And it's looking like we're going to have a massive field there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Chris will be back in the 92 for Lake Apacon because I'll be out in San Diego. I think we're planning on hitting Mays Landing, Lake Apacon, Hampton, Caesars Creek, and then we still haven't decided on Lakeland if we want to go see how fast we are on that big, weird course Jim made design, but
or stick the Ford back in.
I don't think we're gonna touch Chris's record on that
on that
interesting
funky
shaped
thing.
course.
I didn't see that. What's is it like an egg or?
It's more like a D. So the 1 mile record course is going to be the same. Front stretch is the same. Half of the first turn, you go through half the first turn, and then it's a 2,000 or 2,200 foot arc to like the apex
Wow.
of turn 2, and then the front stretch is the same.
Okay,
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to build speed. That's really good for skiffs, I think, but not for us.
Yeah, it might be good for the spider boats that like to be hooked
Yeah,
up on the
that's true.
fin, but I don't think it's going to work real well for us. But so we're still undecided if we have like I said, we have a whole pile of stuff we want to try that we didn't get to try. With Chris getting a whole bunch of heats in Cambridge, we got to throw some setups at it, but we didn't change a whole lot. Al's got a fairly lengthy list of stuff that we still got to play with. Some of it we know for a fact is going to be faster. We just didn't want to go into Bourne changing a bunch of stuff, hoping that it'll work.
Right. Yeah, that is the one hard thing about HRL stuff is like you really you can't give up a heat. Although I will say, talking about starts, you tried to give up some heats. You was late a lot.
I was conservative.
I've never seen you that late.
John, that's how I feel.
I was
I'm with you on that
conservative.
one. I'm with you on that one.
I'll be honest. The one heat, I swore the entire field jumped because I watched the clock hit 0 and they were well past it. And then I watched the live stream and I was 2 tails late.
Shit.
I mean, good thing Al's got that thing flying because I'm not sure I would have been able to drive around the outside of some people.
Was that the third heat?
Oh yeah. I pedaled real hard and
when you came around, when they all came around first turn, I forgot who I was sitting there with, and I was like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get him. You were way farther back than you had been the prior times. It's like Derek and Kevin they found some wicked speed this weekend. Massive steps forward. Yeah. Especially Derek, because I know they've been struggling with some issues this year. I think they've had a lot of fueling issues, carburetor issues, and whatever it was, it seemed like they fixed it. He said they still got more to give in that boat. So I think they posted that one for sale. So it'll be interesting to see who picks that one up and what they're able to do next year.
There you go. You guys got anything else to wrap up with, John, before we let him go?
Yeah, just congratulations, man. We've said it before. I think it's kind of been pretty obvious the last 2 years. You're the one to beat in that class. I know Eddie's nipping at your heels, and you guys are going to keep having those battles. But you've set the bar really high, and you give everybody. You and Al give everybody a target to chase, and I've learned once Matisse got in there this year how much easier it is to race hard when you got somebody to chase. And I'm looking forward to that next year. I think for me and Austin as drivers, not being at the front and having to work our way up there is going to push us and help us push the boat and find new limits and figure some more things out.
Yeah, it's going to be fun
next
year.
Get the pedal extensions and get in the boat, Brandon. We'll take
I'm
all
gonna
the
put
weight out.
Every time I get in a 2.5 stock, I break it. So we got a better chance of putting somebody else in it because I don't want to break it.
But yeah, like I said, just congratulations on a great season. You guys came in after the engine change, and I know you, in your mind, you probably weren't at 100% right away, but from the outside perspective, you guys hit the ground, running hard, and it's gonna be fun trying to chase you guys next year. I know we got some work to do to catch you, but I think Austin got us optimistic in Cambridge, knowing that we're on the right track, and we'll see if we can give you a run for your money next year.
I think if they stuff all the Hondas together, it's going to be it's going to lead for some really, really tight, interesting racing.
Yeah, Eddie and I were talking about that last night with what we know for sure now, and there's always a couple things that happen in the off season. And lately, it seems like it's been good additions in any class. A lot of guys getting in, whether it's rookies or moving to new boats, and they come out firing right away. So I think there's going to be. Like I said, I think at the beginning it's still going to be you two, and maybe Sam right there in that front pack. But I think that pack of 3-4 boats behind you is not going to be too far back, and they're going to be gunning for you.
I think you guys are going to be up there in that top bunch too if you can keep the right pedal down.
We're going to try. I'm
gonna put a reverse spring on that thing.
I'm done hearing shit. This thing's either gonna go as fast as it's ever gone in like a pack on, or it's gonna go upside down.
They're scared because it blew over. I'm like, would you watch that blow over? I could have said put her down like 6 times before that thing blew over. Calm down,
Brandon. You just got to put it on the remote control and drive it from the live stream. Don't let them work the throttle.
We ain't even worried about the delay.
It's only like 5 seconds.
That's it. We're good.
Get some
Yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on with us. Obviously, fans love to hear perspective from the champions. Congratulations again, and look forward to watching you race the rest of the year. Good luck. I guess you're going to Mays Landing and then out in San Diego. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you guys very
Good luck on
much.
GP.
Congrats to you guys with your championship, and you as well with the GP Challenge, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Later.
See ya.
Take care, man.
Take care.
All right, so let's see.
Where's
What
Bob?
else we got to talk about? Bobby?
I'm telling
I
you,
think he
Bob fell asleep.
He said he
Yeah.
was putting Lakeland down.
He
I
does
know
that all the
fell
time.
asleep.
He'll go put her down and then he just out.
That's okay. He would be ranting on and on. So he's already asked me. He's like, all right, when on these can we start working on our agendas for the year? I said, Bob, why don't you run for IRC commissioner? We got your back, but you handle all the phone calls. Because if I handle them, I'm gonna be like, yeah, hold on, let me take this call live on Chasing Tails. Every time. But yeah, that was cool here. Everyone's perspective there. Like I said, if you're still watching, Paul Barber will be on next week. Just needed a little nap tonight. He said he's been up 3 days in a row. He is legal. They did announce that, or they have not announced that, but he told me that they had a thorough inspection, everything weighed, scaled, all that good stuff. So cool to see. I'm really happy for him. I don't think many people work as hard as that guy does without the support around him that some of the other teams and people like us have. So really proud of that. And like I said earlier on that other live stream, we decided Ken's on the other side of the world. We talked to him last year. I'm sure he's got the same things to say. So we skipped out on that one.
Yeah, it's got to be like 2 a.m. or something over there. Maybe
Yeah,
later.
something. And then Kyle's here every week, so we don't need to talk to him anymore in Austin.
One thing I will say, I tried to keep streak alive, but I knew, I think, like
Just
I told a couple
Bobby,
people this week.
You stopped the streak and broke the boat.
Yeah.
You guys,
I
don't.
told a couple people this week, and people were giving me shit, quote unquote, but just playing fun at it. But if Matisse was ready at the beginning of the year, I don't think that streak would have been there.
No.
I think that would have been much more of a head-to-head duel throughout the year, and I knew they were going to get their stuff figured out. They've been running a Honda for a couple of years, so even though it's a new boat, they definitely have a starting ground for gears and props, and I think most of it was just Matisse getting comfortable in a new boat. There's no doubt that wider Henderson hull is a bit more flighty than the original one, and so it's just getting comfortable with it. And it took us a long time, and we're still not fully there. But Matisse definitely every heat you could tell he got more comfortable, and then that second qualifier, you beat me to the line and had the lane advantage, and that was a difference. It didn't really change much after there. There was a couple times he left a little bit of room in the turns, and I was like, do I do it? But I was like, nah.
Man, you could tell
It was interesting to
tell
hear.
Billy Noonan went out west, man. Now he's starting to hate the Hondas. Earlier this season, he liked the Hondas. Come on, man. You can't.
Who's on our side for
you
that?
You can't flip flop like that. Shit.
But yeah, it was
Their
interesting
boats,
to hear.
They would have had more
Matisse.
boats running if they had Hondas, because they wouldn't be breaking.
Right. It's a transitionary period, but like we said, and I was just talking to somebody out west about what to do with it, and I'm like, dude, it is so nice because you don't have to worry about it. You just run it. You can work on setup. Your driver can get comfortable. You're not constantly chasing things. I mean, the only thing Hootie said after taking ours apart, which has run more than probably anybody else this year, is do a couple more oil changes a year. No big deal. Put her back together and send it. So
yeah, did we ever change the oil?
No, you
probably
didn't.
not.
I
Yeah,
think we did.
he's like, yeah, might want to do that.
I think we maybe did it once.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
shit.
the GP. You just keep adding oil. It'll blow it out.
Been raced for over 50 years, and you guys haven't changed oil all season.
Hey, and
You know how many times we checked that
how many times did
dipstick
Poppy
too?
change the oil? That's the real
Probably
question.
not. Dude,
Yeah.
you don't even want to go there.
It's a
That
winning
Ford
strategy.
Bobby was running that Ford 2300
Like 30 years.
with like 110 leak
Yeah.
down. Like
Oh,
that thing
dude,
was
we
leaking
found
like
like
crazy.
insanity.
Out
We
there
found-
smoking
you,
people.
You didn't have to change the oil because it leaked enough. You just had to keep adding. So Poppy's like,
Add it.
why change the oil when you just have to keep adding?
When it
looking
stops
at the
smoking,
whole-
add oil.
Yeah, looking at all the wiring and the wing mechanism in that boat when we got it, there was a few things not touched for too often, but
Yeah.
it's still, you can't argue it because it went out and it did pretty damn
Man,
well.
I'm pretty sure the wing actuator wasn't even connected.
I was wondering where my
I'm
dot
not
pretzels
mistaken.
were. They've been down here since our last podcast.
Nice.
I was like,
so you got to answer. You did fall asleep, right? That's why you're
yeah,
like,
man. I fell
yeah.
asleep.
See, Kyle was
I
right.
fell asleep on my couch. I got a comfortable couch.
He was on Couch Kennedy thinking about the
I
season.
do everything from that couch, man.
He was watching a live stream in his streams.
People,
Yeah, he was seeing all. Dude, you missed all our technical issues. We were on a live stream for like 10 minutes and it just cut out. Then we couldn't figure out how to get it back up. It was a struggle. We about gave up on it, but here we are.
So, Bob, I said this to the guys earlier before we went live, but we can confirm that you talk more than Mike Monahan. He did
On
my
the radio.
radios, and I think in 3 heats he said less words than you did in the warm-up the first heat in Valleyfield the first year.
man, I was coaching you.
Yeah, you was a rookie. I had to coach you.
You know what he should have said?
You know what, coaching, you were
You know what
driving.
he should have said? Keep the throttle down.
Yeah. Whatever.
That's what John said. John said they're going to be competitive in Formula 2500 if they keep their foot down.
We'll get there.
I never knew a throttle to be a rev limiter.
I did confirm today that the rev limiter does hit at that RPM. It hits early, so you guys were right. On
So it's the
Saturday or Sunday.
It's the
morning,
first limiter that it's hitting, not the hard
Yep.
limiter, because there's a soft one in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that data was confusing.
So is that
the shit
set
out of
up
me, man.
wrong?
Yeah.
That-
No, it was right. It just we had in our mind it goes to 8250, and I think it only goes to like 80.
Yeah, it hits that first one, and then if you go past it, it'll clip the second one. The second
Which
one's, I think the second one's just more of a hard shut off.
Yeah, going past it would be coming.
We're only learning this at
That's the only time.
after the last HRL race.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we've barely touched that limiter all year. We've done pretty good about being.
You do.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
I got the data right here. I'll pull it up.
Man,
for the
he
fans.
finally
You can pull it up.
Yeah, he finally touched that start line when the clock hit 0 at the end of the season too.
God, I hope he's
I
on
found
there for
it.
the gala
I found
so he
it.
can let us hear it the rest of
Right.
the year.
Still found that starting line before you did, Bob.
Couch Kennedy hits
Man,
all the starts.
Yeah, I tell you what. I'm on that actually I'm early. I'm on that live stream before they even go live. Actually, I'm sitting there bitching like, why aren't they going live? It's like they're 10 minutes behind. Oh, I do
Yeah,
gotta
we
say
need a
something
black
about the
flag.
live stream this weekend.
Oh, I gotta say
They
something,
had
too.
a drone keeping up with the F class, the F boats. I was
Yeah,
like,
that
whoa.
was fast. It passed our boat once. I was like, God dang it, man! How fast
Yeah.
is that drone?
I'm like, Jesus.
I saw it the one
100 miles an
time.
hour.
I saw it in
Yeah.
my mirror the one time. The one the clip where it's following me. I
Yeah,
was sitting there, just peeked in my mirror, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?"
that was cool. That
That
was
was some
wicked.
cool stuff.
And to be live
freaked me
too,
out.
like I'm sure that footage is great, not being live, but like to have that
Yeah.
live.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
cool.
And that view coming into the first turn in Behorn was it's such a good shot.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's where the championship should be given out right there is to the live stream. They dominate the live stream game right now. I mean,
Absolutely.
like we talked about, each one's is getting better.
Yeah.
And they're starting to do a little more of the interacting with fans and pit action, stuff like that. I think that's the next step. And I still think like we talked about before, the one miss I feel like HRL has done is they didn't dramatize these points battles. Like if you didn't know that Sam and them were 1 point back going into the final.
All right.
Like that should have been all over social
Yeah,
media.
and you know what they need to do? Let's do this on the live stream now. Let's do Hot Mic a Radio Guy. Hot Mic a Radio
That'd
Guy.
be cool.
So you can hear what they're saying the whole time. I don't know if you can get the driver talking back and forth or how they could do it.
Yeah, you should
But
be
if
able to
you
get
can do
both
that,
communication.
I mean, it wouldn't want if I was racing, I wouldn't want
They probably don't,
Jonathan listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the problem you run into is you need some infrastructure there, because you there's some shit that guys say on the radio that we don't need to be putting on the live stream, and they ain't gonna. It's not like this is post
Brandon when he-
race broadcasted. It's live.
Brandon
some-
when he posted his video of his accident in Detroit.
Oh yeah,
I
that
had
was,
to go
yeah.
back and edit the video after.
Yeah, that was some MFers there.
Crawling out of the cockpit, no lid.
It would be cool though. Like I joked about it with people this weekend. They gotta find a way to add proximity chat to boat racing. I saw they actually asked some of the F1 drivers like what's something they want to see added to the production or to the racing. And Alex Albon said that he's like, if you're within like 3 seconds of the car in front, or the car behind's within 3 seconds, you should be able to talk to them. And then they cut to a clip of a Call of Duty lobby where everybody's just screaming ridiculous
Yeah, that's
shit.
what would
And
happen. You guys are way late. Bobby and I always communicated when we were on the course together.
I heard about that.
That's where a double Dutch rudder, buddy.
Yeah. People think that we had someone on the radios with us. Nope, we had radios on the boat between each other.
Yeah. I wish this would have came up about 10 minutes ago when John was on here when he was in Willard's boat, and Bobby's like, Zig. I was like, did you say Zig? Did you say Zag? Which way you want me to go? He said left. I'll go left.
John was telling me him
behind us.
Him and Richard have done that too, where they didn't have a radio guy, so they were in the same heat and they were radioing for each other. You know, John's going down the back stretch. He's like, Richard, where are you at? He's like, come on, you're inside. Leave me room.
That's funny.
Eddie said you can only hot mic radio guys if we start with Bob checking to see if the driver's in the boat yet. You get a little antsy?
Who?
And they're not answering?
Me?
You, Bobby.
What, if I'm doing the radios?
Yeah, like when you're waiting for them to get in the boat and you're like, hey, you in yet?
She's like,
You get a
yo,
little antsy.
hey, you there? Hey.
Hey.
Like, I'm like, what happens if I say, hey?
He doesn't even give you
I'm
a
like, what
chance.
happens if I say,
to
hey,
talk.
and they say, like, a second later, they turn on the radio. I'm like, so I'm just gonna keep talking. Just gonna keep talking. You know what? One time I was
Can
doing.
you imagine just people like you have to strap in and like do stuff so like you can't hit the mic
I was
button?
doing radios for Eddie Canfouche and Mott Lake last year, and I did a mic check and I said some things. He didn't have the radio plugged in, and it was on the deck, and everyone could hear me.
That's awesome.
I remember what I said. I'm not going to repeat it, but I'm like, yeah, it's bad.
I remember that time you did my radios for some reason in Valleyfield one year, and we was talking about like what we're going to get to eat after. Like during the heat, I was in the T-boat. We're like, hey, check out the girl right below the start finish line, over to the right. I'm like, looking, what's he talking about?
I still love your story about in that boat you had the replay camera on the stick.
Oh, yeah, I'll be
You sit
turning
there
that
and
thing.
try to
I had
record
360
with
camera
it.
before 360 cameras were cool. I just move it myself.
It's just ridiculous.
I think
I forget. Steve Armstrong was like, he said that once because I had a handheld once on the boat. He's like, man, I'm out there pushing as hard as I can. I look out the window and Brandon's there filming me.
Such an a-hole.
Yeah, pretty much. That boat was just easy.
It was perfect.
I want to know what Eddie's helmet cam said after the red flag this weekend.
It couldn't have been good. I heard what it said after the heat in Brockville when he got red flag or black flagged at 2.45 laps.
I couldn't make out, but
that wasn't even
at
a final.
Valleyfield when he went up the rooster tail, and I heard him start screaming something, and I'm like, I can't make out what it is, but I'm sure some pretty good words.
Yeah, it can't be good.
That's it. Let's hot mic Canfouches next year.
I'm still waiting for the video from Eddie from Decatur. It apparently I had a little tea bag to give him before he went out in the Y boat, and he had his helmet
I did hear
camera on
about that. I did hear about that.
So we get anything? Oh no, we did champion interviews tonight. I was wondering if we got into anything real juicy. I mean, I'm already getting fired up over this whole Honda thing in the chat, but I don't think.
Well, I thought we were
past
folks.
it. I mean,
We are past it. People want to bitch and complain. They can do that on their own.
There'll be
time.
a package.
like
price
I don't know
on,
if
Chasing Tails
like
tomorrow.
look how many of those Fords out west broke down or blew up, and then look at us. I mean, not bragging or anything, but
just isn't boats.
the only reason it's getting put back together is because it was tore down from winning a championship. It's never been apart because it broke, and that was the first year all season with it. That's pretty impressive. I mean,
I know of 4 Fords that put holes in blocks this year alone.
I mean, come on.
I don't know anybody. The only thing I've heard with Hondas is I heard Woody cracked his head, and that's one of those things like that thing could have been cracked when he picked it up, and they just didn't see it. And I know 2 ECUs crapped out, which I had not heard of before. I hope those get sent to the company so they can at least try to get an idea on what happened there.
Yeah.
We were talking about it because,
really
like,
good.
Yeah, maybe it got wet. But I went back to, Matisse's has been submerged a couple times, and I talked to him. He's like, I throw a thing in rice for a week, put it back in. They're still using the same one, and it's fine.
Sometimes they get corrupted, like a file transfer could go bad, and then you can't fix them until they get fully reset.
I tried to move my screen.
But link management's like, you try to touch your...
I tried to move the screen
link
to see what
really
shirt
good.
Kyle was wearing because Sontag just asked. Man, I just woke up, all right? I just woke up. Leave me alone.
It's the 4th of July one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's time to move on. You know, we got the Honda and the 2.5 now. We have the 400s and the HRL 350s now. I mean,
Yeah, that's gonna get real juicy.
are the
I don't know what's going
inspections
on,
over
but
yet? Except Paul Barber, he won. He's
well,
done, right?
Paul's
done.
clean and clear. I know we really weren't supposed to announce that, but
Oh.
whatever. Was chasing tails.
You can't tell me anything.
Allegedly.
I couldn't have him not come on tonight, and then people be like, "Well, is he illegal?" No, he's legal. He'll come on next week when he's awake. He didn't get a nap like Bob. But yeah, then I guess the rest are getting torn down. I heard they're being very thorough, so like that's good to see when a series is like, all right, we hear all the rumblings. Let's see if they're true or not. And I mean, hopefully they're not true. Hopefully it's all legal and everyone's good. But you never know.
Hopefully
it's
a little,
racing. Everyone
hopefully a
pushes
little
limits.
easier on those micrometers this year.
Yeah, a little bit. We'll give a little tolerance rules. Well, heck, after writing that APBA rule, I understand why HRLs doesn't have it. Like, you got to add that stuff in, plus or minus 5. Is that in millimeters or is that in inches?
So yeah. So it was a good season with HRL, man. A lot of great racing, and you know, I'm giving this. He's not on, but I'm giving this to Paul Barber for the season. I mean, the dude went out there. Like me and Brandon say, he's one of the hardest working guys in HRL. He went out there and was pretty dominant. And
he tried to throw it away, but
hitting a freaking buoy. You know,
It's all right. It's all right. It evened out when Tommy went out of the course in the last qualifier.
That's what happened.
Is that what happened? He went out of bounds?
I was told in the warm up went outside.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's rough.
I don't know if that's for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I just pulled it up and saw that there was a P8, and P8's not like the normal lameness. I think it's just like I'm pretty sure it's anything deemed, not right
Whatever
by the
referee
official, if I'm
says.
not mistaken, which would fall into that category.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
damn,
that sucks. That's not how you want to see a championship.
Because it would have been
contention.
It would have been within 2 points going into the final. I think it was
something like that. Would have been really close.
That was crazy.
Paul works his butt off, and he's generally a one-man band working on his stuff. And he's a farmer, dude. He's a farmer going out there and kicking ass.
So
we got.
I'm glad he isn't on this week, so I can go to Goodwill and get me some farmer attire. I'm gonna come on with some overalls next week with a flannel on.
Brandon, do you have the picture from Tonawanda?
Do I have the picture? Yeah, I do. Shoot,
Farmer boy time.
I will say it was really cool to see Paul finally.
That's a long way back.
It kind of finally sink in for Paul, because he had been the last couple race weekends just so high strung and like focused, but just worked up about it. And then obviously with all the drama that's been going on since Tonawanda with the 350s, I think that just added to it. Just to see him get out of the boat and actually be able to appreciate what happened was awesome.
There's old Paul. He had to grab the tractor himself to his own boat. He's about to go and do some.
But no, and not to mention, you had a team, Legacy Racing, like Legacy One Racing. Not only do they win the championship this year, they won the championship with a different boat in the same class last year.
Yep.
So that right
crazy.
Right there
in the most competitive
class, that right there is pretty badass. And I gotta say, it was pretty cool all season watching the Dog Nasty and Paul go back and forth, Tommy Shannon and Paul go back and forth all season. It made it very intense. And next year, I mean, I don't even know how you can top the competition this year, but next year, I think it's going to be even more competitive, because you're going to have Paul still right there. You're going to have the new game on. You're going to have McKenna in the old game on. I mean, the Dog Nasty is only going to get faster. Roshan. I mean,
you saw as the year went on. I mean, Bert was supposed to be in lane 1 for the final.
Yeah,
that boat won championship 2 years ago, and I know had some setbacks, but it seems like they got that thing back to
it's getting there.
Back to the top of the field.
You can never count him out. I mean, that dude
never.
That dude, he's up there a lot, up there ton. He's won a lot. I mean, you won in his boat. I mean, it's that class it's hard. It's crazy to say, but that class is only getting more competitive. And
I think one good thing about all these inspections, and HRL is always jumping on things, they'll probably tighten things up because of the inspections. They're gonna go back to the rule book and be like, okay, we're going to take that away. If there was a gray area touch, they'll tighten it up to where the competition gets better. The rules package gets a little tighter, because the 350s over the years, you can tell like they've been getting faster. These rules keep getting tweaked and stuff like that. So I know they've even talked about going to a spec head, those kind of things. So they're always working to advance that show. And I feel like 350s, even though the APBA lovers unfortunately still think that killed the sport, but I mean, maybe it did in Region 6 and Region 4, but
Region
God, that show is
Region
so
6,
good.
you're having 8, 9 350s these days. So.
Yeah, they're reviving now. It took some time, but now they're back. And I mean, it's the competition level, though, they're so similar. Back in the 305 days, man, it'd be like Norm Ensbury out front by a whole rooster tail. Like, it wasn't competitive. Where now
we were talking about this earlier, and I'm not trying to dog on HRL, but I don't know all the rumblings in the pits with who has what with what engine or this whole 350 thing. I'm only on Couch Kennedy, so but I would like to see HRL do random inspections throughout the season, or mid-season inspection, end of the season inspection. Like, you got to keep people honest. If they're on their toes, they're going to stay honest.
I think Valleyfield's 2 years in a row not getting to finish their weekend has kind of hurt, because they almost naturally get that with Valleyfield being in the middle, but it's 2 years in a row we haven't been able to run the finals, and then therefore inspection didn't take place. Right. So I think you get that weekend in. I think you get part of that back, and then I mean, I don't know what the practicality of, obviously what they did with the Hondas is easy. Like, they came up, Stefan would come up and be like, let me see your gears, or give me some fuel. I don't want to see them pulling people's heads mid-weekend, just because, most people you can find somebody to help you get things back together. But, if it was me and Austin at a race by ourselves, we're done.
It comes up and asks you to see your gears. You got to be like, you want to see my what? Make it a little awkward. But no, even the Whistler, I remember them going around doing years ago at like Tonawanda, just checking random boats with the Whistler, like, just doing easy inspections.
Well, I think
full fuel.
I think from what I've heard and what I've seen, they've invested in some of that stuff, that equipment. I mean, I was just Googling it for shits and gigs today, obviously, after our talk, and Whistler is like $3,000, but it does kind of tell you the things you need to know, and it's good to do spot checks. It's pretty accurate. So I believe they bought one, so I think that's cool. You can spot check people, things like that. It just keeps everyone honest. Like, and I think, like you said, go ahead, Kyle.
Sorry. Yeah, Sam just mentioned in the comments that it is in their rules that they have the right to random inspection. I think when you just have Stefan and there was so much focus on the Hondas this year, I think that's where they were maybe a little bit more geared. But I think with what's come up in the 350 class, you're going to see that random inspection spread a little bit. She said they got inspected in Brockville in the Skiff class. So I think we saw in the Honda class, and I don't think we were really worried about anybody cheating necessarily, but the threat of random inspection, if you're cheating, you're dumb, because you're eventually going to be the one they come to. I mean, in Sorel, Sam went out there and whooped Eddie and John's ass, and they were like, "Yep, let's see it."
Yeah,
it's just I think that's the way to do it. I think it makes everybody know that it can happen at any time. There's no gaps. There's no way to just slip by. I mean, maybe, but you're leaving it all to chance at that point. And if you want to put a whole season to chance, then what are you really doing?
Exactly.
Y'all talk about old Kent getting a win in GP?
No, we haven't made it yet.
We should have had him on.
Man, I knew he was due in. Kent. It doesn't matter what Kent drives. You give him a little bit of time and he'll figure it out. He just didn't jump in the Canada Boy and just go out and start. But every time he got in that boat, he almost blew it over the Valleyfield last year.
Yeah, Valleyfield. Well, one good thing, I mean, talking to Ken about it, he said it's like totally different than when he drove the Steeler. Like, he got in the GP for the first time, and it was like, you have to win because your brother's winning in this boat. When you're in it, you have to win. And so that was really hard. And I mean, GP from 350 is a little step up. But now he's been able to kind of take his time, feel the boat. He likes the boat, get comfortable. So I'm really excited to see them next year. I've heard Mario signed on for another 2 years, so he's keeping the boat. And I think they're a great team to have around. Got good speed, good competitive boat. So, I mean, I think we're on the up and up. I think GP had a rough year in HRL, but I think things are in the works to kind of bring it back to the right show, at least at most of the race sites, and try to continue it what they started years ago, reinvest back in.
Yeah, Kent.
I think the GP class is just its own animal when it comes to logistics, and it's just so much different than the other ones. I mean, when the money alone is so much greater. I mean, we've seen this time and time again over the years with GP. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. I think the goal here is to not let it go away.
Right.
We got to change some
things.
Fix
it when something's wrong.
You got to fix it, and there's growing pains that go with that. But this isn't NASCAR. There's not an unlimited pool of money here to just keep throwing random shit at it and see what sticks. It's everybody's got to get on the same page, and it sounds like as the year went on, at the beginning of the year, there was a lot of kind of some people on this side of the aisle, some people on that side of the aisle, but it seems like there's been more work to try and bring everybody together.
But
it's at least good to see.
I say, these GP owners and drivers, when everyone gets together and they all agree on something to do it as a team, as a class, they need to stick that way. Unlike they were a little wishy-washy this year, but that's for another time, I guess.
And I get it. I mean, it's hard. I mean, at least from my perspective, I ain't got any skin in the game or anything. I think everybody just wants to see as many of them out there on the water as possible. And it gets frustrating seeing some people. I don't want to dog on fans, but fans or super fans or whatever. I get their take. Where's your contribution?
Yeah, I mean, GPs can't be at every race.
You don't have skin in the game.
They can't be at every race, and I think.
And do you want them to be? Like that's the other question we've always had, and it's same thing. It's same thing for all classes really in HRL. If Valleyfield is your mega race, why are we having the same show in Beauharnois or Brockville? Like something's got to be different to bring new crowd to Valleyfield kind of deal. That they can't just go spend $20 instead of $200 to go to Brockville or whatever. But I mean, and I think it's just that the group kind of broke up this winter and had different agendas, and I think we got to figure out a schedule that works. I don't think every race can be hit, but I think we're going to have more boats at some of these races and figure out what makes the most sense for everyone, for GP class, for HRL. See if we can gain some more people. I mean, there's people like guy behind me there. He wants back in, but he needs to know there's going to be the future and it's going to continue to grow. So from the marketing side of it and stuff like that.
I think the owners, I mean, let's put it this way. We wouldn't have a class if it wasn't for these owners who are dedicated to the GP class. And without them, you wouldn't have GP. You would only have a 350 show, and 350 show is a badass show.
Pretty good.
But I mean, people love the speed and the sound of GPs. So the owners need to get together and see what's best for them and them only, because if you wear out these owners, you're not going to have GP.
We've seen them.
That's
we've
what
seen
it all
them
boils down to right there.
That's it. You had a huge growth of them through the introductory when HRL saved it, or ACHA back then revived the class. You had Mark, you had Ghislaine, you had Lecomte, you had a few others up there in Quebec that were like dedicated, but they just saw it kind of, all right, we're just doing the same thing over and over and over. And that cycle, we never broke free that cycle. And I think we were almost there with what Janik's been doing social media wise and all that, all the future that HRL was putting there, when the class kind of got burnt out and was like, we got to do something different. So now if we can do a little mix of both and get it going again, I think we're going to have a good 2026.
Yeah.
I have a meeting at some point. It would
be cool if Ghislaine gets back in. That dude I mean, it's practically where GPs are like, he likes to drive, just don't lift going in the first turn. I mean,
pretty much.
That dude was a lead foot in a GP, so it'll be really cool if we get him back. So
and we'd be remiss. We talked about Kent, but I mean, Eric Longevan going out there and setting the fast time and time trials. That was awesome to see, man.
Yeah, it sucks they had such bad luck with the engine this weekend, because that was shaping up to be the best weekend, the fastest he's gone in that thing. And I mean, you saw the progress all year. That boat's come leaps and bounds since 2 years ago.
Oh, he's doing good.
I agree.
Doing real good.
It's pretty cool.
So
here, let's show off this. Before we transition, we'll show off this video that Eddie just sent us. Hold on, which tab? There we go.
Oh, Jesus.
The name is just
What's
beautiful.
Austin doing?
It's like, shit, I gotta go over him. Teabag.
And he looked like he wanted to see it again. He's like, come on back over here. And then whoever that dude, he was thinking about doing it.
I think
too.
that's
Elijah.
Elijah. Elijah should have done it
That's
too.
definitely Elijah.
He should have double dipped.
Tree.
Oh,
Jesus,
boy.
start calling
He's
him
like,
tree
did
trunks.
I just see him do that?
Elijah's legs look like tree
Look at
trunks.
them
Man.
legs.
Dude, I will say my favorite picture so far this year is the one of Elijah on Eddie's boat with the Batman outfit on. That shit's hilarious. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
No, sure. You would. You know what would be huge? You take that Pro Hydro and turn it into a GP there, bud.
Yeah, but if Mayhem did get out, they say this all with working together. I think there's gonna be a bunch of advancements, and I think people are gonna.
And if someone buys the Bergeron GP 135, I believe that's up for sale, right?
Yeah, see, that one's got to. We want, as a GP marketer here, that one's got to stay on the West Coast. I know it's going to come back and get disassembled, but it'd be nice if that boat can go back to the West Coast. The old Coppertone, somebody could get it and run, and like have a minimum of 8 boats on each coast, and you have damn good series, like, and marketable.
So wait, it is staying out west?
Areas. We won't get into all that.
Oh
no, they're going to bring it
back
yet. And disassemble it. Is what I was told.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and hopefully I know that I had heard the Grants were planning on trying to turn that thing into an unlimited. I really hope they don't do that.
Yeah, I hope not.
What?
Just keep that thing as a GP. GPs
They
are
wanna-
cooler
they
anyway.
wanna do
Let's
what?
be honest.
We're gonna take the old GP14 and make it into an unlimited. extend the back of the sponsons and everything.
Man,
It is potentially big enough. I mean, that's the biggest.
it's
Grand
about
Prix I've
heavy
ever seen.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
heavy.
very
That's the better word. Heavy.
Heavy. That boat could go through friggin' anything. Speaking of anything, here's an idea. Someone, actually, I can say whatever. Brian Richards brought up, and I think I like this idea. Taking a GP to Lake of the Ozarks and doing that 3/4 mile.
I think
You don't have to hold it through the traps. You just have to hit that end with the speed. So you can kind of pedal it and be safe and get to that. Like 175 was in the top 5. I'm like, you could hit
Wait,
that
how
easily
long
with
is
the
it?
GP. It's 3/4 of a mile, but it's not like when we do the kilo where you it's trap speed. It's just top end speed. So you don't even have to get on it until halfway through there and just hammer it.
Yeah.
Man.
Like that, I forgot what the name of it was, but that green boat, that green turbine offshore they just
That's
put
the
out there.
old
Like,
guitar.
there ain't no way that thing was going 242 the whole time.
Yeah, no, that's the whole old guitar boat, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, that video of that thing moving was
Guitar.
sick.
Guitar.
Come on,
Guntersville. Man.
Well, I'm gonna show my wife this video. But yeah, I think it'd be cool. I mean, there was like 15,000 people watching that live stream. You put a little GP in there. He talked about the 32 that he has out west. I was like, that's perfect. But them things are so stable in a straightaway. Like, yeah.
Now,
He was talking about building a massive motor for it. I'm like, let's just start with what we got.
Man,
I think just the noise and the
that'd be cool.
What it's so different from what the people that go to that event are used to seeing. I'm sure people that go there are in the boat racing world and know what hydroplanes are, but I would guess it's a small percentage of them.
What's wild is I found out in some conversations recently with someone that's big in power boats, has a big company, that he races offshore, doesn't know anything about hydroplanes. Yeah. Never heard of an H1 Unlimited, never heard of a Grand Prix. I'm like, see, that's bad when our sport's not even known in the power boat racing world. That's all right. Step 1, we got to fix this winter. We're back on it.
Back to Brian Richards. He don't even know if that 32 can float. It's never been wet.
Yeah, it might leak a little. I'm sure
he's got to get that. They got to get it out this year. They have to.
Yeah,
or next year.
It's
get it
a
ready.
magical looking boat.
It's sweet looking. It is sweet looking. But no, that would get a couple GPs at Lake of the Ozarks and go. Come on, boys! You taking a 35 through the traps? That's 35. Man.
Yeah. So the other news, obviously, the transition a little bit next week. I don't know, besides Paul Barber, if we have a guest lined up. But we're going to start getting into topics of like trying to talk about how we can improve the sport again this winter. Maybe not as bad as we did last year, but we got some ideas we want to run by people. And one of these episodes is going to be like an open mic night like we've had in the past, where you just come on, let's get some ideas, let's brainstorm of ways to make
boat
racing
saying
better.
Ideals or ideas?
I might have said ideas.
And also, you know, if
maybe my wife needed to listen to me.
If we can just say, add a topic in the chat of what you want us to talk about, and we'll just pick a random topic that someone comments, and we'll go on that. But no, we are going to hammer some things down. You know, you don't think He says we're not going to be as bad as we were with the Honda. No, there's a couple rule proposals.
The only way that's going to happen is if we don't let you on.
There's a couple rule proposals that we want to happen. So it's going to happen.
Hold on, Bobby. I got something to share. What is that?
Is that all those spikes lifting? Jesus.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Is that throttle position?
Come on, Kyle. Yup.
Horn wall.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Oh man, that's a good tattoo. Tattoo down Kyle's arm.
Yeah, it's not a pulse. It's like, yeah, all right, gotta go.
Still looks better
Austin's
than your
got the lift
TPS
marks
looked
on
in
his
the
chest.
300, buddy.
Yo, calm down. Which one, him or me?
What about me? What? I didn't hear you.
What'd your TPS look like last time you were in the 300?
Wide open.
What'd your elevation look like in the 300?
-4.
Negative 5 feet below sea level?
Oh man,
It's okay. It's acceptable this year. Well, it was acceptable. Now I'm like,
Well, like I said,
do it again.
I'm done hearing it. So this thing's either gonna float or it's gonna fly.
That's it.
And I don't want to hear shit when it flies.
You can wait till the last race for that shit.
Nah, where that's gonna have to happen in Lake Apacon.
I want my third ring.
That field's gonna be stout.
like
Yeah,
good thing
it's
Lake
gonna be
Apacon's
fun.
close to Hage Tool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
fix it
no,
before
nothing's
you
gonna
do.
happen. Nothing's gonna happen. That boat is stable as could be.
I will say, dude, I almost shit my pants when I hit that turbulent spot
Damn.
in the
That
first
thing's
heat.
crazy.
Oh my god, dude, it's so fast.
Yeah.
It did
just
it. The
hits.
boat.
Boom, boom.
It was the same exact sequence as you in the GP last year too.
Yep.
It was right sponson and left sponson even higher.
Way
I was like,
higher.
oh shit.
Jillian's
That's crazy.
family thought I was crazy. I jumped off that couch.
No, man.
That spot's
I
no
look-
fun. You know what's funny too is I was talking about it the whole lead up, and then just the first heat just got on the front show. I'm like,
Yep.
here we go, and then just forgot
just-
about it.
I just giggled. I was like, hey, it's still there.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
Tried to tell
man.
Brandon he did.
Well,
It's funny. I was talking to
Jacob.
Jacob Hainu though, and his boat doesn't react to it. It drives right through it, doesn't do anything. And then you watch the boat before and the boat after, and they hit it, and it's like, whoop,
Low missile.
don't get it.
We also we got to talk about. So they had a race at Lake Champions over the weekend.
Championship league.
Champions
Park Lake,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
He'll
We
get
all
it one of
fuck
these
it up.
times.
It was a
We'll get
success,
it.
success with the inboards. Inboards can race there, so we're going to push forward. We're trying to put a race on there next summer. We already been in talk with some teams and that would like to attend. I think we're gonna try it. We're seeing if a race date opens up though, because right now
In a lot of
between
spots,
HRL
man.
and APBA,
Yeah, that was
all race
crazy.
dates are pretty much taken, unless you want to race in February. And
Yeah.
we're not.
It's kind of crazy to think about, like all that argument after Gunnersville went on Decatur's date, and then it's like when you sent that list of like the open weekends, I'm like, holy crap! Like,
Yeah,
how do
you
you
get-
figure this out? as
You
a
get
new race?
2 open weekends prior to August
Yeah.
1st.
Yeah,
It's
Or prior to the week. Sorry, the second weekend in August. Like it's
Yep.
that's all that's there.
yeah. So we're seeing if a date does open. We reached out to a couple races, and if it does open, then we'll try to push forward. I think it'll be a great little venue for a couple classes. It'd be some good testing. We're going to get a lot of racing in. We're not going to follow the APBA or HRL format. I don't care what all the haters say. This is to actually run your boat more than you get to. I mean, if you add it up,
and have fun.
you race for a total of say a 2.5 stock.
Probably 20 minutes.
Not
a
even
weekend.
20 minutes.
Actually,
If you take the
yeah.
warm-up
I mean, if you
out,
include warm ups,
take the warm-up out,
warm ups, you're at like 30.
you take the warm up out, you're less than 15 minutes.
16
Yeah,
minutes.
16 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
So, you spend a lot of time working on these boats and traveling. So it'd be good to go to a race and get some extra seat time in, have some fun, and then at the end of the day also be treated right at the race and have a good time. Because it's what racing's all about.
Like I said, this place is unique. That's obviously been hidden from inboard for a bit, and finally inboard got there. But it's like the Field of Dreams. It's a lake basically built for boat racing. It's not the perfect conditions, not super big, but it makes for ability to do some exciting things. Go 6 wide, maybe do some time trials in the morning and stuff like that. It's just we want to be unique. All these ideals we come up with on Chasing Tails, sometimes either we get that, well, you don't put money into the boat, you don't own a boat, or you've never put on a race. So it's about time we try to figure it out and make something happen and put some of these ideals to actual work.
Yeah. I think from what we got to chat with Dennis Wright on the way home from Bahornwall Monday morning, and the two things I was the most curious about is the race course runnable? I think, they said the array of buoys for the various classes was quite confusing, and that's no surprise. I think if you have an inboard specific event, or like let's say we had the drag boats too as an additional show, like you can set it up or even pull buoys out, but having 4 separate courses where you can't really pull them out, I know caused some confusion. But he said as far as the ability of inboards to race there, it's tight, but you can do it, and HRL proves that you can race the tight racing. The tight racers courses are the ones that provide the best show. And then I was really curious what the fan turnout would look like, because we've heard there's kind of some infrastructure already in place for spectators. And, I saw a couple pictures and there's tents everywhere, seemed like people everywhere. And saw pictures, seemed like the fans were really engaged, and, the teams were able to intermingle with the fans. And then, we know that site in terms of just, what it is, the amenities that it has is hard to.
There was 150. It was a record of 150 tailgaters there this weekend. That means tailgate spots. Tailgate spots sold out to I don't know. You pull your truck up, tailgate if you want. 150 spots sold. So I mean, the fan base is there, and
for the middle of Ohio.
Yeah, and these people they call Dana at APBA and say, hey, let me know when a race is on. I want a tailgate spot. And he says it just keeps growing and growing. So the fans are there. We just got to go put on a good inboard event. They just had a dual event with inboard, outboard, and maybe something else I forget. So that's cool. Now it's time to do an inboard event. Maybe with some outboards. I don't know. I mean, it'd be good to have someone that can just toss a boat in, trailer launch or something, and rather than taking up, do some novice, get some kids out there, because, we always like to push those kids to get on the water and have fun, and because they are very important to our sport. So it would be cool to have them there.
Sure.
But no, it's exciting. Did you guys see the cannon?
No,
you showed me the picture this morning.
They shot off there during the race. Like, you were going to give people a heart attack. Like, you're going.
Yeah. Like Dana said last week, he blew out people's
hearing aids.
Hearing aids. Like,
all us racers are already deaf. So
yeah, right. Huh?
Man, that's crazy. But no, it's cool. It's a cool little park, and like I asked before, like, hey, can we that bar with the mechanical bull accessible to the racers? He's like, hell yeah. So I don't know. I'm going to do something different.
That's how you assign your license.
And we do.
I still say that. That's the main thing we got to stick to. Whoever lasts the longest on the bull gets laid on.
And we are going, and we will look into having a pit bike race, e-bike race, and we will make sure it happens if we want to do it. We're not going to just fold.
Just got to be on the sanction, folks.
Be on the sanction.
Not too complicated.
But technically, outside that fence, right where the motorhomes are, that's not.
Dude, they got a track.
Yeah, there's a track.
They have a track. Yeah, that's right. Track.
So we want to do some cool things on and off the race course, but it's going to be exciting. Like I said,
the cannon, Elijah, the cannon was there for like the 1 minute warning before the tunnel boats start. So that was like their 1 to the 5 cannon, or whatever you call it for tunnels.
I wonder how many people around
like,
there.
I think they call it driver or starters orders or something like that.
Called the cops. We're getting bombed.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, were the dudes like actually in like
they were in the picture
military uniforms?
They're all in the suits. They're all in the suits.
It's epic.
It's crazy. But I mean, like we already talked to some. We put a poll out on a inboard group, and we already got some responses that they would like to come, and it would like to be in the spring. Boats like to test, and before the season gets ramped up.
If it goes well and we get good sponsors, you could always do spring and fall. But as everybody knows that puts on a boat race, it's hard to do all that. But the good thing is, what we feel like is we're starting with this platform, this content we put out, and everything we put out, the following we have with you guys coming on here and watching us live every week. This is all marketable stuff that we can show to companies when we go to them, that it's not just their banner hanging out out of sight. It's what they can get before and after the event. So we're just gonna do a thing and see what happens with it. And I think we'll be talking about it a lot on Chasing Tails coming soon. But boys, we're getting close to 2 hours here. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, dude, I lost track of
You
time.
came on
What are you talking
late,
about? It's been like,
and Bob's like, we've only been here for like 30
yeah, I
minutes.
don't know
What
what
you
you're
talking
talking
about?
about, man.
But yeah, I think so. First off, if you're still with us now, if you have any burning topics, things you want to talk about, send them to our inbox, text us, whatever. If you got our numbers, let's start getting some things fired up as we close out this season. There's no racing this weekend, correct?
No.
Nothing this
So
weekend.
we'll probably be back on Tuesday. We'll definitely try to get Paul Barber on. Maybe we'll get Bill Pierce on before Lake back on. And then we're going through a whole guest list. We're going to start doing a lot more interviews as well with different people. So same thing. If you guys have a suggestion for somebody you want to hear their story, definitely drop it to us in a comment or share it to us in a message. But boys, you got anything else to say before I wrap it up or Austin wraps it
No,
up?
I wasn't here beginning.
Dude, you see his eyes get wide? He was like, no.
I wasn't here during the whole interviews with the champions. I just want to say congratulations to everyone. It's not easy to win a championship, and it's definitely not easy to win a championship where you have to race against the same people every weekend. It adds a different element to it. But there's still some fighting for championships going on in APBA. So, good luck to everyone going for those, and we'll see how everything turns out.
For sure. And we'll be back next week with the latest news, rumors, and
All right,
gossip.
Austin, do it.
This has been episode.
Go ahead,
Austin.
Why are you guys making me do this?
Go ahead.
Episode 61.
It's episode 61. We talked to some HRL champions. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and come back next week for some more.
Thank you, Austin.